going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man of fire himself, Halfpint, once again. We're back with, once again, another Subverse video. 58,724 backers, $2.2 million earned, 10 waifus unlocked, 14 milestones, 3 manga commissions, 100 plus new animations, 4,127 new schmeckins, 3,915 new Studio 69 patrons, 429 plus newly discovered plants in the Protogene galaxy, 15,000 plus comments, 30 pages of Boing Boing Weekly scattered across the stars, 20 space whales spotted on the scanner, and $0 spent on marketing. Later, with a team of 12 people, Subverse finally released a brand new trailer last night, which we broke down as you can see right here, linked on the video. But today, I want to go over more of the details that we might have missed from yesterday's video, because back in retrospect, going through with just our first impressions, there are quite a bit of things that we actually did miss in yesterday's video, so I want to go ahead and quickly go over these and actually sum up more of what is Subverse for you guys, because I don't feel like I've really done justice enough explaining specifically what is Subverse and the whole purpose of the game. This month, we're pushing for more Subverse content because this game is coming out March 26th for everyone to enjoy. So I'm going to try to see if I can hit 10,000 subscribers before this game comes out by March 26th. It's an ambitious goal, but I believe we can do it. Hit subscribe down below, share this video around for more people to see, and we'll see if I can hit 10,000 subs before this game comes out March 26th. But I got to give you guys daily content in order to make that happen. So you hit subscribe and I'll give you guys the daily content. With that being said, I will be streaming this on my OnlyFans, not making that up. I am legitimately have my OnlyFans linked down below so I can actually stream this game since it can't be done on YouTube, and I'm going to edit those highlights in the future to be on YouTube. So trust me, YouTube people, you're going to get your Subverse content in one form or another. With that being said, let's go ahead and go back into this trailer, comb over it, and go over some of the details that we missed from yesterday. Number 1, there's a lot of story. Yes, there's a lot of story inside of Subverse. Specifically, there's over 600 pages of dialogue, and you have to keep in mind a majority of it, if not all of it, has voiceovers, and that's why there's so much love and work put into this game. I've been talking with a lot of voice actors as of late, and yeah, they did a lot of voice work for this game. This game has a lot of voice acting. It's not just 600 pages of dialogue and script just for the game itself. No, it was like raw script for the voice actors to read. So trust me, there's a lot of dialogue in this game. Now granted, at some point in time, I believe when they were first advertising this game on the Kickstarter, they were going back and forth if there was just going to be dialogue and then some scenes where there's like text on the bottom of the screen and you pass it that way. But I'm pretty sure that was before they made $2.2 million on the back or Kickstarter, so I'm pretty sure that's why we're getting so much voice acting. Back in the day, they were aiming for approximately 100 pages, and they were going to make it a 10-chapter game. We're now up to 21 chapters in the game and 600 pages of dialogue. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I believe that's the numbers that we're currently sitting at. Now, how does this pertain to the trailer? With the trailer specifically, we've been seeing a lot of dialogue building up the story. We don't have too much details for the story itself. They've been kind of tight-lipped about it. They've been having some sparse details about characters specifically, so we can talk about that a little bit. Here's what we do know, though. In the beginning of the trailer, we actually hear Fortune talk a little bit.
See, this is the kind of girl we want on our team.
Now, the weird part about this is March 26th is the early access release date for the game. We'll only be getting the first 6 chapters of the game around this, and we'll be able to romance Killy, Lily, and Demi, with Killy and Lily being the playable characters and Demi being exclusive to the ship. Now, we're hearing a lot of Fortune inside of this trailer. I'm not sure if this is specifically because this is the official trailer for the game, so they wanted to include everything for the game, or if we are going to be getting Fortune in the beginning of the game in some capacity, and we just won't be able to romance her until we get those later chapters out. It's not that they're trying to hold content away from us, it's that this is just the way they're able to release content for us to be able to get some of the game, and again, it was advertised this way on the Kickstarter for them to be releasing in chapters, so this is not anything new. We won't be paying for the future chapters either. You buy the game, you have the game, and they're releasing the chapters. This is the model that they've been talking about, so you're good. Get the game March 26th, and you're fine. It's early access, but you have the game at that point. Don't you worry. No complications here. Up next, let's talk about Blythe. Blythe has a pretty long monologue towards the beginning of the trailer. At some point in time, she talks about being the true heir to Earth's legacy. Now, I'm not particularly sure what happened to Earth in this game. I think they talked about it in the Kickstarter at some point in time. I don't have enough time to do some research. I'd have to go back and do that. I'll come back to that one. Someone let me know down in the comment section below. I think Earth blew up or something. Don't know. Don't think Earth exists anymore. But I'm curious more specifically what's going on with Blythe. Why is she trying to be the heir or the successor to Earth's legacy at this point in time? Just a bit of dialogue that caught my eye here. More of a lore detail sort of thing. I remember last time when I was breaking down this trailer, I was kind of pointing out her Russian accent. It seemed kind of, I don't want to say thick, but definitely sounds like someone's trying to impersonate a Russian accent. It kind of reminds me of like Steve Carell, but I think that's kind of the joke here, if I'm being honest. I mean, it kind of sounds mawkish, I suppose. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I've grown fond of it. I like it. It's pretty good. Now, here's the big detail. We do know of several villains inside of the game when you go to Studio Fo's website. There's these character models that rotate around, and you can take a look at that, and those are some of the villains we'll be seeing inside of the game. Blythe specifically, as far as I know, is also a romanceable character. If that's the case, why is she the antagonist? Well, we have details about this. If we go to Kickstarter update number 23, we have some Blythe details. Dev Diary number 4, or I guess Kickstarter update number 23, they talk about Blythe when they were first developing her back in July 14th of 2019. It goes on to say, Blythe the Corrupt General. This character is actually really crucial to the story in the opening chapters of the game, and features prominently in a very early cinematic. As such, we have swapped her with Taryn around in the production schedule to enable our cinematic crew to be able to work with the model. Again, this was back in 2019, so I don't want to reveal too much, but her inspiration is hefty mix between Guts from Berserk and Terminator. Guts from Berserk? Well, now that you mention it, that makes way more sense. I don't want to be horny anymore. I want to be happy. Badasses still need to look good though, so here's a work in progress shot of her lip gloss, blah 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 blah. We've seen General Blythe before, but there is the inspiration for General Blythe. It's a mix between Terminator and Guts from Berserk, which in retrospect, putting the models side by side, now I see why Blythe looks so familiar to me now. It's like opening a, yeah. I have no metaphor here. Other than that, it also, once again, mentions the fact that she's pretty crucial towards the opening chapters of the game. I'm assuming she's going to be like the big baddie of like the beginning of the game, maybe the first 6 chapters. And then potentially, we beat her, she gets dethroned by whatever bigger villain. She becomes obsolete, so we just take her on the ship and then she's just waifu. My guess. You guys let me know what you think about Blythe down below, or if you have more details, but as far as we know, that's what's going on here with Blythe. Up next, we have more gameplay details we can talk about. This will pertain specifically to some of the gameplay that we were seeing inside of the trailer. Again, I do have some gameplay breakdowns in some of my earlier videos. I'll have those linked down below as well. You can see some of those linked above, so check out one of those videos if you'd like to. There were also some details given at an earlier Kickstarter as well, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about some of those as well. So what this talks about is the waifu loyalty system, also known as the SEX tree chart. Now, I don't want to sound dumb and spell out SEX every fucking time, because YouTube doesn't want to allow that, so we'll just call it simple need. Shout out to anyone that understands what song I'm referencing. And now on to the gameplay details. In Subverse, we've decided to merge traditional RPG leveling with a loyalty system. Instead of having separate combat levels and then a romance system, you'll be able to progress both at the same time by simply playing through the game. Each time you win a battle or complete a quest, you'll be given an experience capsule. You can then give the capsule to any waifu of your choice to grant her XP towards leveling up. Once she dings and levels up, she then gains a talent point, or as we lovingly call them, booter points, PP. PP is used to unlock the simple needs scenes in Subverse. The more PP you have, the better, more complex simple needs scenes become available. Very much like an MMO RPG talent tree if it included yes. This streamlined system means that you don't have to fiddle around with combat talents or stats. she'll automatically perform better in battle, and you'll get to focus your attention on what lewd acts she can perform in bed. As you can see from the top image, there are also some rewards to earn on her road to level 40. Every 10 levels includes a major milestone event for your waifu, and we'll be revealing the milestone rewards at a later date. However, we will confirm that she'll trust you enough to activate her loyalty quest, which you hit once you hit the level cap. As we now know, the loyalty quests are called devotion quests. To review, fight battles / quests with waifus of your choice. Gain XP in the form of capsules. Feed the XP capsules to any waifu on the crew. She eventually levels up and gains 1 PP to spend on a simple needs scene. Rinse and repeat until level 40 to unlock cool rewards. So there you go, there's a simple breakdown with images so you guys can understand how this really works in turn. And this kind of breaks down specifically the whole purpose of having the game as well. Go out, you have any sort of combat sequence, you rank up the waifu, you begin earning some of the sequences for the waifu, and then you have the scenes. Mind you, you can also activate these scenes at any point in time in the game. It's known as Pandora. It's the Pandora system. You can hit pause, and then you can hit Pandora inside of the pause menu. We've seen this option inside of the beta before, and you can do it right there if you want. Now the question is getting more scenes. We actually do have more details on Pandora, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's rewind and break down a few more things that you probably missed from the trailer itself. First of all, this shot of the ship right here behind the Phoenix. That's firing at an enemy ship. Not the Phoenix itself. Phoenix being the pilotable ship that you use during the shoot 'em up sections. This ship is probably either the Mary Celeste itself or maybe another friendly AI ship that you find throughout the course of the game. There was a certain beta that we had where you could defend the space station as well. It was only a temporary beta, but there are some friendly AI units inside of the game. Pretty dope. This scene here, there's a mine under Bulghetto. There wasn't just this one on the far left side, but apparently if you slow down the shot and go to the very beginning of this shot specifically, you'll find another caution area right beneath Bulghetto. Explodes and hurts him a little bit, so maybe these rotate a little bit, or if you step in it, it explodes immediately, or maybe there's some that you find throughout the course of the map the longer you stay on it. Random hazards that could rotate on a per turn basis. From this point on, we can also tell they're clearly not trying to spoil any of the later stuff in the game, as we only see the same 4 Xenos throughout the course of the trailer that we already have in the beta. Yet we know there's a lot more of the Xenos to get in the game, so clearly they're not trying to spoil later stuff in the game in general throughout this trailer. This trailer is probably just the beginning of the game from what I can tell. Again, probably the heavy emphasis on Blythe as well. More on that in just a minute though. But this ship right here, I don't recognize it from the beta. However, by its background, it could very well be a boss arena. Now, granted, little vortexes like this could be hazards that we could have in the future, which would be a lot of fun because we do know there are some more hazards coming to shoot 'em up sections as well. However, this one doesn't seem to be interacting with the environment. It just seems to be a part of the background, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. That's what leads me to believe this might be a boss fight. With that being said, the architecture of the ship itself, its silver color scheme, its flat design, kind of reminds me of the scavenger ships that we did fight every once in a while. You can probably see from these images here, aka the first faction that you'll come across in the game, according to Mr. Kristoff. They're kind of the generic guys that you find all over the galaxy. Although there's a lot of different factions that we come across, I think there's a total of 4 or 5 we fought in the beta. The scavengers are the generic pirates that you find throughout the game. Now, as for this last point, it's not gameplay related, but I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the video. Fortune talks about needing a whole lot more to take on the Imperium while zooming into this baddie ship.
We're gonna need a whole lot more than that to take on the Imperium.
A similar shot to what we saw when Blythe was monologuing towards the beginning of the trailer. Now, it's easy to imply that that ship was hers because she's monologuing and it's like a very slow, drastic show of the ship. However, if Fortune's here talking about Imperium ships, what we do know about Blythe's character, according to the website, is Blythe does not like the Imperium. Her whole thing is that she will not bow the Imperium. 2 separate sides. This is what leads me to believe that Blythe has a turning point about halfway through the game at some point in time because, again, she's romanceable. So, I mean, I would kind of figure that at some point in time, she would have to turn to be on her side to even make that an option. On top of that, if the Imperium, as Fortune is implying here, is the bigger foe, I don't think Blythe is really going to be taking on the Imperium by herself, even if she is being painted as the big villain, as this trailer is trying to show it. I feel like it's kind of like a bait and switch, whereas Blythe is going to be like the big villain for like the first a few chapters of the game, but then you realize there's a bigger foe underneath, the Imperium, the entire military force, where you never thought you're gonna be able to take them on, but it turns out we do need to take them on at some point in time, and we're probably gonna need Blythe's help, and that's probably where she ends up turning on our side at some point in time. Now that's my guess. You guys let me know what you think down below. There's also more shots in here as well, where you can see a ship releasing a ton of drones. This is a function that the Imperium faction does already in the beta that we can fight. There's a bigger Imperium ship, and when you fight it, every once in a while, it will release drones to attack you as well. You have to kill the bigger ship for it to stop releasing these drones. So this is definitely a tale of this faction specifically. Okay, I've been editing this video literally all day, and I just now realized I'm approximately halfway through. It is a pretty chunky boy video, and I don't think it's a good idea to release a 30-minute video. I would rather go ahead and split up into segments so it's easier to shoot at a time. Also easier for me to edit and at least get something out since I've been working on this video all day. I don't want to just call it quits here, so that's all I got for you guys for the trailer breakdown. Maybe there's some of those details that you might have missed when watching the trailer. Let me know if I enlightened you on any new details. And the next video, I'll be going more in depth specifically how Pandora works. So be sure to subscribe down below if you're more curious on how the scenes of the game work, or as they're dubbed, the Pandora, where you create your own scenes. All right, so subscribe for that. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. Okay, so we're gonna be uploading daily until Subverse comes out. Let's see if we can get 10,000 before we get to March 26th. Hit subscribe, get your friends and buddies here, and hit subscribe down below. Be doing me a huge favor. And I appreciate you guys all stopping by today. You know, it's been a lot of fun making these Subverse videos. So also, let's get a conversation going on down below. What do you think about some of these new story implications that Fortune's talking about? What do you think about Blythe and what's really going on with her, and what might happen as we uncover more of Blythe's story throughout the game? What do you guys think about today's gameplay that we went over? Anything and everything that we talked about in today's video? Start a discussion down below. Let's start talking about what all happened inside of this trailer. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this as much as I have. Thank you all for watching. Long time, not a hard time. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.